Hey everyone, welcome. We're diving into X Factor technology today. They're making some serious waves in baseball training. And get this, their big focus is on something that often gets overlooked. Timing.
It's wild how much traditional training emphasizes perfect mechanics. But timing, it kind of gets pushed aside.
And here's the exciting part. X Factor is giving away 5 apps, totally free. Android users, you're in luck right now. iOS is coming soon. And this isn't some limited trial. This is the full package. They're so confident you'll love it. It's like they're begging you to try it out.
That's pretty wild. What's the catch?
I think that's what's so interesting, right? There really isn't one.
So it's not some kind of marketing ploy.
No, not at all.
It's a smart move, really, giving people a taste of their full training system, which, by the way, is seriously cutting edge. It gives us a sneak peek into their long-term vision. That's really valuable for anyone who's following the evolution of baseball training.
X Factor is, completely convinced their system works.
They must be pretty confident.
To the point where they're practically daring you to try it.
You think they're onto something big, then?
Well, they're definitely challenging how we think about training, especially for hitting.
I mean, we're talking high-level insights and data analysis, the kind that can really have a serious impact on a player's performance. And now it's available to everybody for free. But okay, before we get ahead of ourselves, let's talk about why timing is so crucial.
So X Factor believes that focusing on timing first can actually make your swing mechanics better over time. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, and it's a really interesting way to look at it.
Yeah.
A perfectly executed swing won't connect if the timing's off. When you start your swing where you make contact, the power you generate, it all boils down to timing.
Okay, so let's break down this Power Pack lineup. First up, we have the Tempo Trainer Timing Simulator Lite. Then there's the Swing Time to All 25 Locations Calculator, followed by the Pitch Time to All 25 Locations Calculator, the Ball Flight Distance Calculator, and last but not least, the Pitch Speed Over Distance Calculator.
It is a mouthful.
It is a mouthful, but you're right, it's a complete toolkit.
Let's start with the Tempo Trainer Timing Simulator Lite, because this one really caught my attention.
Okay.
It's all about adding a crucial element to your batting practice.
Which is?
Timing stress.
That's often the missing piece.
Yes.
When you're hitting off the tee,
You're
working
sure.
on mechanics, but you're not replicating the pressure of a live pitcher.
Exactly, and that's where this app comes in.
It essentially simulates the timing challenges of a real game,
Interesting.
but without needing someone on the mound.
Oh, okay.
It does this by first capturing your stride time within the app.
Okay.
You actually go through a process where it measures how long it takes you to stride forward.
Smart. Stride timing is so crucial for syncing up with the pitcher's delivery.
Right.
It sets the foundation for your entire swing.
Right. So once you have your stride time locked in,
Okay.
you enter tempo trainer mode.
Uh-huh.
You input a sequence of 5 pitch velocities.
Oh, okay.
And the app will issue 2 alerts during your practice session.
Right.
First, a stride alert to help you sync up with that simulated pitcher.
So it's almost like having an invisible pitcher dictating the pace.
Exactly. And then based on the velocity that you input, a swing alert is issued.
Interesting.
It simulates how long that pitch would take to travel from release until you need to start your swing.
I'm seeing how this could be a game changer for developing that split-second decision-making you need at the plate.
Totally. And by varying the pitch velocities, you're training your brain to adjust to different speeds.
Okay.
Which is essential in a game situation.
Yeah.
You're not just swinging. You're training your timing under pressure.
It's bringing a whole new level of intention and focus to batting practice.
Now, there's a full version of the Tempo Trainer too, right?
Yeah, there is. Yep.
What's the difference?
The full version goes deeper.
Yeah.
It actually measures your swing time and calculates what's called swing delay.
Okay.
Which is, basically the delay between your decision to swing and the actual start of your swing.
Okay. So it's uncovering those tiny inefficiencies.
Yeah, you got it.
In your swing that you can't even see with the naked eye.
Yeah, exactly. Those little delays, they can add up and they can really affect your hitting.
Yeah.
The full version helps you pinpoint them so you can work on eliminating them.
It sounds like we should definitely deep dive into that another time.
Yeah, definitely.
But for now, let's move on to the next app. The Swing Time to All 25 Locations Calculator. This one sounds like it's straight out of a physics lab.
It definitely has, that scientific foundation, but it's presented in a way that's really easy to understand and apply.
What does this app tell us about a hitter?
Well, this app is all about understanding how long it takes for a hitter to make contact with the ball at different points.
Do I need like sensors or something?
No, you don't need any extra sensors for this one. It actually works with data from devices you might already have,
Okay.
like blast motion or diamond kinetics.
Oh, sure.
So basically, you just input your swing time for one specific pitch location.
One specific pitch location.
Yeah, let's say like a pitch right down the middle, belt high.
Okay, so I take a swing, get my swing time from like my blast motion, and then I plug it into this calculator.
Exactly.
How can it accurately calculate swing times to all 25 locations in the strike zone from just one swing?
Well, it all comes down to the power of algorithms and X Factor's deep understanding of swing mechanics.
Okay.
This calculator uses something called spatial mapping to basically create a virtual strike zone.
Okay.
And then it maps your single swing time input onto that zone.
Okay, but isn't the hitting zone just like a flat square?
Right. That's what most people think.
Yeah.
But the hitting zone is actually three-dimensional.
Okay.
It has depth and height.
Okay.
And as your swing arcs through that zone, different points on the bat, ideally that sweet spot, are reaching those locations at different times.
So if I'm picturing this right, my swing time to an outside pitch would be shorter than my swing time to an inside pitch.
Exactly.
Since the outside pitch is closer to the start of my swing arc.
Precisely. So the shorter the distance the barrel travels, the shorter the time. But longer distances, well, those are going to lead to more acceleration, which is where you can generate that force.
Right. So if you're trying to hit the ball to the opposite field, the bat's going to be moving slower than if you're trying to pull the ball.
Right. And that's going to affect your exit velocity and your launch angle.
So the calculator not only helps us understand these variations in swing time, but it also helps us understand how they affect those key metrics.
Yeah, like exit velocity and launch angle, which ultimately determine how far and where the ball travels.
Okay, so we're talking about big differences in outcome here.
Huge differences, because even a millisecond of difference in swing time can make a big difference in how hard you hit the ball.
Wow, so we're really getting down to the nitty-gritty here.
We are, and that's what's so exciting about this tool, because it allows us to really dissect the swing and understand all the different factors that go into hitting a baseball.
It's like magic.
It is a bit like magic, but it's really, advanced math and physics behind those variations.
Okay.
So, certain spring angles, certain places that you hit the ball are naturally going to have a lower exit velo. And it's not because you're doing something wrong. And it's not about saying a swing is good or bad. It's really about understanding the natural variations that occur based on where the barrel is at contact. And what's cool is that even the free version of this calculator can give you a good sense of that.
Now, I've heard the paid version, the X Factor swing time calculator, that it takes things to a whole other level. Does X Factor also capture those like popular orientation metrics like vertical bat angle and attack angle?
All right.
The stuff that everyone always talks about.
Uh-huh.
The name swing time calculator kind of hints that maybe it doesn't.
Yeah, that's a really sharp observation. And it gets right to the heart of what makes X Factor so interesting.
Okay.
It's not a simple yes or no answer.
Oh, I love when it's not a simple answer.
Right.
So tell me more.
The X Factor swing time calculator does actually incorporate those orientation metrics, VBA, HBA, attack angle, the whole shebang.
Yeah.
But here's the twist. Orientation metrics, while valuables, aren't something you can patent. The paid version, it incorporates some proprietary metrics, like swing delay. That's the delay between your decision to swing and when you actually initiate the movement.
Okay.
And then there's time to impact, or a TTI, which combines swing delay with your mechanical swing time.
TTI is the whole shebang. Thinking about the swing plus actually swinging.
You got it.
Okay, so it's kind of like giving you a more complete picture.
Right.
Than just how long the barrel's in the zone, right?
Exactly. Because with TTI, we're not just looking at how fast your swing is. We're also looking at how efficient you are in going from that decision to swing to actually making contact. And what's really cool is that the X Factor system, it actually captures all of this in real time.
Wow.
For all 25 locations, no manual input.
That's some serious data.
Yeah. And the really cool thing about these metrics is you won't find them anywhere else. Swing delay and TTI are exclusive to the X Factor system.
Wow. Okay. So we've got this calculator that maps out our swing times and the X Factor system with its own special metrics.
Don't forget, we're not just talking about how long it takes to swing. We're also talking about reaction time with that swing delay thing in the X Factor system.
Oh, right. So maybe a hitter has a really fast swing, but their swing delay is slow. That's important to know, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so just to recap, we've learned that swing time changes naturally depending on where the ball is, and that swing time to all 25 locations calculator thingy can help us see those changes. We also talked about time to impact and swing delay, those special metrics you get with the paid X Factor system. Wow, so we're seeing how this bundle can give hitters a competitive edge.
Absolutely.
But let's move on to something that I think is really fascinating. Perceived velocity.
Well, we could start by looking at something like a radar gun, which might seem like the simplest tool. And then from there, we can see how X Factor kind of takes it a step further.
What sets it apart from the usual radar gun measurements?
Well, think about it. A radar gun just gives you that one number, the speed of the pitch when it leaves the pitcher's hand.
Yeah, that's all it tells you.
But what about what happens after that? What happens to that speed as the ball travels towards the plate?
And how does that affect the hitter?
Exactly. And that's where X Factor comes in. These apps, they use physics and data to actually show you how a pitch's velocity changes over distance and time. It's like getting the whole story instead of just one snapshot.
So this app, it shows us how much a pitch slows down.
Yeah.
But does it also tell us how long it takes to get to the plate?
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty detailed.
It is. And it really gets to the heart of what makes pitching so strategic. It's called the pitch velocity to all 25 locations calculator.
Okay, 25 locations. What does that mean?
All right, so imagine the strike zone, and it's divided into this grid, right?
Okay, 5 locations across and 5 high. It's kind of like a giant tic-tac-toe board.
Yeah.
And each of those squares represents a different location where a pitch could cross the plate.
So instead of just like the overall speed of the pitch.
Yeah. This app lets you analyze the speed to each specific location within the strike zone. And it factors in all those things we talked about, air resistance and how they all affect the pitch as it travels to different points in the strike zone.
So a fastball aimed at the high inside corner might actually have a different effective velocity than a fastball aimed right down the middle.
Hitters perceive speed differently based on how far away the ball is.
Right, okay.
So what this app does is it helps you understand how a pitcher's velocity is actually affecting your reaction time at the plate. And that knowledge that can give you a huge advantage. It's not just about how fast the pitch is, it's how fast it seems.
Yeah.
And that's a big difference.
Exactly. And that difference in perceived velocity can be huge, both for the pitcher trying to understand how his pitches are playing, but also for the hitter who needs to adjust their timing accordingly.
Yeah, that's incredible. Right. I never realized how much more there was to pitch velocity than just that initial speed. The same pitch can feel faster or slower depending on where it's thrown.
100%.
What's the science behind that?
So you have a 90-mile-an-hour fastball coming in high and tight. Because of the shorter distance, it might feel like a 95-mile-an-hour pitch to you.
Wow.
And that 92 down and away actually gives you more time to react.
That makes so much sense.
It does.
And this calculator takes that initial velocity and shows you the average velocity to all 25 points in the strike zone.
That's right. It gives you a time over distance calculation for each location, so you understand how much time you have to react to that pitch at every point.
And so this is where those concepts of perceived velocity and effective velocity really come into play.
You need to train your brain not to just react to that initial speed, but to what that speed's going to be at the point of contact.
Right. And that's different for every location.
Different for every location.
Wow. I'm already seeing how this could be useful, not just for hitters, but also for pitchers.
For pitchers too, right?
Yeah.
They can use it to see, okay, how is the perceived velocity of my pitches changing?
Yeah.
Based on location.
How can I mess with the hitters more?
Yeah. How can I be more deceptive?
That's fascinating.
It is.
So we've gone from training our brains to react under pressure, understanding our own swing times, and now we're deciphering the secrets of pitch velocity across the entire strike zone. It's like we're building a complete arsenal for hitting success here.
I like how you put that. And we're just getting started. We still have 2 more tools in this free bundle to explore. Each one is going to offer, its own unique insights into your hitting performance.
All right. We've covered timing, decision-making, pitch recognition, all essential elements of hitting.
Yeah.
X Factor's bundle also has this ball flight distance calculator.
I was hoping we'd talk about this one.
Which seems like it could be useful for any player trying to, hit dingers.
Absolutely.
This one sounds like it's straight out of a NASA control room.
It does have that high-tech vibe to it, right?
Yeah.
But it's actually very user-friendly. This tool allows you to input various parameters like launch angle, exit velocity, pitch location, hit direction, and it estimates how far a batted ball will travel. You know, what's really impressive is the level of detail in the calculations. It considers everything from like ball aerodynamics, you know.
Right.
Did you know like a ball with backspin actually travels further thanks to something called the Magnus effect? The launch distance calculator takes all of these factors into account. Spin air resistance, launch angle, exit velocity, to give you a more accurate prediction of how far that ball is going to travel.
So it's not just about hitting the ball hard. It's about hitting at the right angle with the right spin to really maximize that distance. It's like finding that sweet spot where power and physics collide.
You got it. And the launch distance calculator takes the guesswork out of it. And what's really impressive is that this calculator goes beyond just basic physics.
Oh, wow.
It uses a huge amount of data from real batted ball events to make its predictions.
You know, it's amazing to me how much science goes into analyzing something as seemingly simple as hitting a baseball.
Yeah, it's a testament to the complexity of the game. And the beauty is we're constantly learning more. You know, Professor Alan Nathan, who's a leading expert in the physics of baseball, has done extensive work on these launch angle and distance calculations. And tools like this are making that knowledge accessible to everyone.
I love that, you know, bridging that gap between the research lab and the batting cage.
Absolutely. And this particular tool can be beneficial for both hitters and coaches. Hitters can use it to understand, you know, how their swing mechanics are affecting their power, while coaches can use it to evaluate a player's power potential and identify areas for improvement.
So a hitter who might struggle to hit home runs in a spacious ballpark could potentially thrive in a smaller stadium.
Exactly. It adds another layer of strategic thinking to hitting. And it's all about understanding how these different factors interact to influence performance.
What about the last tool in this bundle, the pitch speed over distance calculator? This one seems super useful, especially if you practice in a cage.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because a pitch thrown from, say, 25 feet in a cage feels so much faster than on a real field.
Yeah, it's a whole different ballgame.
And this app helps you make sense of that.
It tells you the average velocity and the time you have to react and what that speed would feel like from 55 feet.
So you can adjust your training.
Right. Like, for example, a 40 mile per hour pitch from 25 feet is like an 84.3 mile per hour pitch from 55 feet.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So important to think about.
Yeah.
Especially for younger players who often play on shorter fields.
Absolutely. It helps them prepare for when they move up to bigger fields. You know, it quickly calculates the average speed of a pitch over a given distance, which is helpful for both hitters and pitchers.
Now, we talked earlier about the pitch velocity to all 25 locations calculator, which breaks down how pitch speed can vary across the zone. How is this different?
Think of the all 25 locations calculator as like a detailed map of those pitch speed variations, more like a speedometer. It gives you a quick and accurate reading of that overall velocity. It's useful for quickly assessing a pitcher's speed, which can be especially helpful for, you know, younger players or those who are just getting started with analyzing pitch data.
Okay, so it's a simple but powerful tool for assessing and tracking velocity, which is, you know, a fundamental aspect of both hitting and pitching. I like it simple yet effective.
And that's the beauty of this entire app bundle, you know. It's a collection of tools that are each designed to address a specific aspect of hitting performance. But when used together, they create this comprehensive system for analyzing, understanding, and improving your game.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Okay, so each of these apps in this free bundle looks at hitting through the lens of timing. It's not just about the mechanics. It's about understanding the physics and how it all affects your swing.
And that's what's so innovative about X Factor's approach. They're not just giving you tools to analyze your swing, they're giving you tools to understand the WHY behind it all.
Okay, but here's the big question. They're giving all of this away for free.
Yeah.
So what's the catch?
I don't think there is one, really. It's a smart strategy, in my opinion. By offering this free app bundle, they're achieving a few important things.
Lay it on me. What's the game plan?
First, they're building trust within the baseball community. By giving away valuable tools like this, they're showing that they're committed to helping players and coaches succeed at every level. Second, they're showcasing how innovative they are. These aren't just your run-of-the-mill training apps. They offer some pretty advanced features and insights that demonstrate just how sophisticated X Factor's approach is.
So they're not just giving you the tools, they're also educating you on a whole new way of thinking about hitting.
Right. And that education is important because it challenges the way things have always been done. The free app bundle also acts as a gateway to their full ecosystem, which includes more advanced tools like the swing alert system, predictive modeling, and even VR AR training.
So it's like a taste of what's possible.
Exactly. And finally, by offering these tools for free, they're directly challenging those big established players in the market. It's bold, but I think it's a smart move.
It's refreshing to see a company that's not just focused on making money, but on genuinely helping players improve their game.
And the fact that they're willing to give away this much valuable technology for free really shows their commitment to that goal.
All right, we've covered a lot of ground here. So let's summarize what we've learned so far. The X Factor free app bundle gives us 5 powerful tools that help both players and coaches understand the role of timing and hitting, focusing on the science behind the swing rather than just the mechanics.
And what I find fascinating is that this bundle is really just the tip of the iceberg. X Factor is developing a full-fledged ecosystem of training technology that promises even more personalized insights and features we've never seen before.
That raises a great question. If this complete system is so incredible, why isn't it available to everyone right now?
Well, I think there are a few reasons for that. First, they're still working on educating investors and potential licensees about just how transformative their technology is. For X Factor, it all comes down to timing, which they believe is the key to unlocking a hitter's true potential. And that's something that hasn't really been focused on in the past. It's not just about achieving perfect mechanics. It's about developing a natural, intuitive feel for timing.
So they're really challenging the existing approach to hitting instruction, which takes time for people to wrap their heads around.
Exactly. And that's where the free app bundle comes in. It's not just a marketing tactic. It's a way to educate the baseball community about the importance of timing. Each app in the bundle makes the concept of timing more understandable and gives you things you can actually work on.
It's like a crash course in the science of hitting delivered right to your phone.
You got it. And that education is so important because it helps people understand why X Factor's full system is such a game changer.
Okay, so they're educating investors and users. What's the other reason for the delay?
Scale. They're creating a system that can handle millions of users, from young players to pros. Delivering precise timing solutions like their swing alert system requires infrastructure that can handle that volume.
So they're taking their time to make sure that when they launch, they're ready for everyone. No hiccups, no delays, just a smooth experience for all.
Precisely. It's a long-term vision. They're laying a strong foundation to support the growth and evolution of their technology for years to come.
I really appreciate that kind of thinking. It's not about making a quick profit. It's about building something that's truly transformative and doing it the right way.
It's definitely a refreshing approach. In a world that often prioritizes short-term gains over long-term vision, it's great to see a company taking the time to do things right. And that's why I believe X Factor technology is a game changer. They're not just tweaking existing training methods. They're completely redefining the way we approach hitting instruction.
So what are you waiting for? Go download these free apps and see what you discover. We'd love to hear how they change your approach to training.
And keep an eye out for the launch of the full X Factor system. It's going to be something special. This deep dive has only scratched the surface of what they're capable of.
It's like they're opening up a whole new frontier in baseball training. I'm already imagining a future where players at all levels have access to this kind of personalized, data-driven coaching.
I think that's definitely where things are headed. And X Factor seems to be leading the charge.
Okay, so to wrap things up, what's the one thing you hope our listeners take away from this deep dive into X Factor technology?
I think the biggest takeaway is this. Timing is everything in baseball. Whether you're a hitter or a pitcher, understanding and mastering that element of timing can take your game to a whole new level. And X Factor is providing the tools to do just that.
And they're doing it in a way that's both innovative and accessible, which is really exciting. So if you're looking to improve your game, I definitely recommend checking out X Factor's free apps. You might be surprised at what you discover about yourself and your potential.
Absolutely. This is just the beginning for X Factor. And I have a feeling we're going to see some amazing things from them in the future.
That's right. And who knows, maybe one day we'll be doing a follow-up deep dive, exploring all the new developments in X Factor's technology. But until then, keep practicing, keep learning, and keep pushing yourself to be the best player you can be. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.